Gentlemen, this is a special week. We have a 3-game slate on Thursday. Obviously, Thanksgiving. I need to let you know that I truly am thankful for all of you and all the support that you have showed us this season. It's incredible. We've gained like 90,000 subscribers, 90,000 members of the flock this year. I would have never imagined it was possible to grow this fast. I mean, I don't think any other fantasy football channels come close to growing this fast. So thank you so much for everything. And I truly need to give you a massive thank you. And I also need to give a massive thank you to Underdog Fantasy because they're doing something that I've never seen before. I mean, maybe they've done it in the past that I don't remember, but they're giving us 2 specials for Thanksgiving. They're giving us the Saquon Barkley free bet at half a rushing yard. I'm no expert. I'm no rocket scientist, but I'm pretty sure that the more than half a rushing yard is a safe bet. And they're also going to get you a boosted parlay if you include Dak Prescott in it. Thank you, Underdog Fantasy. I am truly thankful for you. I know 99% of y'all are already on Underdog. If you're not, though, and you want to get on, it's not too late. You can still take advantage of this. When you go to the link in the live chat, go to the link in the description, the link in the comment section. They'll match your first deposit dollar for dollar up to $100 when you use promo code FLOCK. So it's not too late. Top on. We're going to be looking at some of these Underdog lines for Thanksgiving because we've had a lot of people asking us for a player prop video, but honestly, I want to keep it a little more helpful than that. I want to also just be talking about players that you need to have in your starting lineup, players that you need to have on your bench. And quick side note, if you have not dropped a like on the stream, what are you waiting for? Hit that like button. Now, if you're playing anybody on Thursday, I don't care if they're the worst guy in your starting lineup, you need to, and I repeat, need to make sure that they are not in your flex spot. The worst thing I ever see is someone go through, throw a player in their flex that we have an injury that we're sweating on later in the week. And all of a sudden, I mean, we're very limited with what players we can actually put in our starting lineup. If Saquon Barkley, I mean, that's probably a poor example. If we're looking at, say, Gabriel Davis, who's the 3rd wide receiver in your lineup, you have Stephon Diggs, you have Tyreek Hill and Gabriel Davis, and you want to play both Diggs and Gabe Davis. Well, Tyreek Hill should be in your flex then, okay? If they play on Thursday, they need to be at wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, just making sure everybody is on board with that. So let's go game by game here, and we'll use these player props as guides because Underdog has to be very accurate with these or they are going to lose a lot of money. So starting off with the Buffalo-Detroit game, if we're going to be looking at the projections that we have with these guys, we already know that Josh Allen is someone that you need to be jamming in your starting lineup. We're not going to talk about that too much, but going over Devin Singletary, this is one of those players that is going to be a borderline play for you dependent on the options that you have at the running back position. Now, you've noticed that we carved out a little player prop that we want. I do not want to be betting on Devin Singletary to score a touchdown. I know Singletary's been on fire scoring these touchdowns over the past few weeks, but if you take a step back, if you look at the overall touchdown, the overall red zone usage that you've had from Devin Singletary last season and at the beginning of this year, Josh Allen, in my opinion, the quarterback 1 in fantasy, is going to be someone that picks back up his usage in the red zone. I think that it was just a little small sample noise over the past few weeks on why Devin Singletary was scoring. I think it's easy to bet that Singletary does not score that TD. And when it comes to if you want him in your starting lineup, I'm not going to fault you if you really wanted to go through and play Devin Singletary as a low-end RB2. I mean, especially if you had been relying on someone like DeAndre Swift. Obviously, you're going to be starting a name like Devin Singletary over DeAndre Swift. But going over to our next guy, we have Stephon Diggs. Want to be staying away from these player props. I think he's appropriately priced. You know to put him in your starting lineup. Gabe Davis is going to be very intriguing. Obviously, I mean, right now, the Buffalo Bills are 9-point favorites against the Detroit Lions. They should be scoring a tremendous amount of points. With Gabe Davis, I mean, we just got done playing in Detroit. I mean, you like the game environment. What I will say is, if you're playing in a non-PPR format, Gabe Davis is your guy. That non-PPR league where Gabe Davis has the elite level ceiling to break off a long play, any given play, versus in a PPR format where he's not going to get the target volume and we know he's not going to have a ton of receptions. Like his line here is 4 receptions. I think you're going to be a little more excited about Gabe Davis in that non-PPR format than you would be in a full PPR league. But going back to what we were discussing earlier, I mean, I think that these player props are probably stayaways. We can find better options on the slate. But now going over to Dawson Knox, you're going to start him if you're desperate and just need a bet on a touchdown. Honestly, I should have maybe included Isaiah McKenzie's more than 20.5 receiving yards. The man's been trending up with his snaps. Not someone you can put in your starting lineup, though. Now going over to Detroit, Jared Goff. I mean, right now, the more than less than 246.5 passing yards. Don't play Jared Goff. I mean, with Jared Goff, as we said, 9-point dog here against the Buffalo Bills. Jamal Williams, I think that this is going to be a running back that you should have in your starting lineup, specifically if you're in a non-PPR format. But you'll notice our running back rankings are going to come out a little later today. And I already know that people are probably going to be, I don't want to say mad, but they're going to be a little upset with how low that we have Jamal Williams after a 3-touchdown performance. I mean, we do have Jamal Williams as that low-end RB2. I have him at running back 22, but that's just because I'm expecting this to be a game where the Buffalo Bills get out to an early lead and the Detroit Lions have a hard time running the ball in the second half. But now Amon-Ra St. Brown, locked and loaded stud. You play him, you start him. I mean, look at the expectations. Now going over to the Giants. The Giants are also, I believe, 9-point dogs against the Dallas Cowboys. Let me pull this up just to confirm. Maybe I'm mixing up a few of these lines. We're going off the top of the head here. And with the Dallas Cowboys, I apologize. I mean, no, they are not 9-point favorites. They are 10 to 9.5-point favorites, depending on the sports book that you're looking at. I mean, right now, Vegas is pricing in that you are going to get the Dallas Cowboys just going out there and crushing the New York Giants. They just won 3-40 against the Minnesota Vikings. They held Kirk Cousins to 3 freaking points. So I really do like the idea of just going and betting on the fewer than 236.5 total yards for Daniel Jones. Now, we have to take into consideration as well, keep in mind, every single one of his wide receivers is down. No Wan'Dale, no Shepard. Tony had the fallout. So you have Darius Slayton as your number 1 guy and Richie James maybe as number 2. Now, Saquon Barkley, I went through, crunched the numbers, worked so damn hard to figure this out. But I think Saquon Barkley is someone we should probably be taking the more than half a rushing yard line on. Now, maybe my numbers were wrong. Maybe my sims were wrong. Maybe I had the wrong inputs, but seems like a safe bet to me. And of course, you should have this available to you already. I mean, I'm assuming 99% of y'all are already on Underdog. If you're not too late. You can go still sign up. Link in the comment section, link in the live chat, link in the description. Promo code FLOCK. They'll also match your first deposit dollar for dollar, 200. Available in damn near every state. Now, Darius Slayton at 47.5 yards. I don't want to bet this, but I would say this is not the week to go through and start Darius Slayton. Like with Darius Slayton, yeah, he's an intriguing waiver wire pickup because there is nobody else in New York. There is nobody else to throw the ball to if you're Daniel Jones. But this Dallas Cowboys defense is arguably one of the best defenses in the NFL. I think that's a stay away. We don't need to talk about Lawrence. We don't need to talk about Graham. No, let's move on. Dak Prescott, I mean, I don't have a strong total take on the passing yardage line because we know that if the Dallas Cowboys get to an early lead, this is a team that's willing to run the ball over and over and over again in the second half. We've seen that by now with the Dallas Cowboys. So I would love to know your opinion on the passing yardage line because that is something you're going to really want to include in a parlay because you do get those boosted odds. But going over to Tony Pollard, I know people are going to hate us for this. If it was 67.5 total yards, it's an easy more than, but 67.5 rushing yard. I mean, what am I supposed to do? I know Tony Pollard looks so damn good. And I truly do wish that they would go through and they would use Tony Pollard as the 3-down running back each and every week here. But we've seen Ezekiel Elliott come back, even with the knee brace on, have a role. Tony Pollard still dominated last week because his usage as a pass catcher, as a receiver, but from a rushing yardage standpoint, 67.5 is a lot. Like, they have Zeke at 46.5. CeeDee Lamb, must-start player. We know that. Gallup, I've seen some people trying to get cute and start Michael Gallup. I don't think so. Not until we actually see it from him. As well as, I mean, it's not the matchups to start Michael Gallup. You want to start Michael Gallup in a game that you believe can be a shootout. If they're going up against the Chiefs, yeah, let's go through. Let's start Michael Gallup, because I don't think the Dallas Cowboys defense is going to be able to lock the game up for them in the second quarter, as we may see against the New York Giants. Dalton Schultz, player props seem a little bit low, but you kind of understand it. Going back to what we were discussing earlier, this is a team that probably doesn't have a lot of passing volume in the second half. Noah Brown, not even worth a spot on your roster. If you have Noah Brown on your roster, please cut him. They're going over to Mac Jones. Mac Jones, not someone you're starting, not someone that we can get excited about from a fantasy football standpoint, knowing that he just doesn't run the ball. Ramondre Stevenson, I mean, we had to kind of go through and throw in the towel, given the fact that Damien Harris was back in this past week. Damien Harris started, but Ramondre Stevenson still dominated the snaps, dominated the receiving down usage. So I can't sit here and tell you, oh, let's sell high on Ramondre. No. Ramondre Stevenson, from a PPR standpoint, looks like a locked and loaded stud. Jacoby Myers, 52.5. I mean, 4 receptions. Can y'all please let me know, everybody in the live chat right now, we have 400 people in this live stream. Are you going more than, less than 52.5 receiving yards for Jacoby Myers? Going up against the Minnesota Vikings, I mean, right now the spread on this game, I believe the Vikings are favored by 2.5 or 3 points. Yeah, the line sitting at 2.5 right now in favor of the Minnesota Vikings at home. Very interesting. We have most people saying more. Oh my gosh, we got only Matt saying less than. Interesting. I don't know. Usually, y'all know I like to find some less than lines that we really like and stay away from the marginal more than. I think Myers, mid-wide receiver 3 in fantasy, full PPR format. He is someone that can go through and be... I don't know. Myers is just very difficult to project. And then Jacoby Myers, I mean, Hunter Renfrow there. Hunter Henry, dear God, I can't speak. It's clear to stay away. I mean, if you have him in a best ball format, maybe you're really hoping that he scores a touchdown this week, but clear to stay away. Now, Kirk Cousins, I don't know if you know this about the man, but if it is 1 p.m. Eastern, Kirk Cousins is going to go out there and play a game where people are saying that he is an MVP. He is going to play a game where people think that he is an MVP candidate. People are going to lose their mind. Whereas if it is a primetime game, which I'd make an argument, there's almost no game that's more of a primetime game than Thanksgiving night. The man just does not show up. Plus, it's a very tough matchup going up against New England. Plus, the line is down to 2.5. So for 251.5 passing yards, I don't know if I like that for Kirk Cousins. I may take the less then. And then Dalvin Cook, clear stay away. Dalvin Cook, 90.5 total yards. You want him in your starting lineup. Please start Dalvin, even the tough matchup, but I don't want to make a player prop. Justin Jefferson, bona fide stud. Nothing to talk about. You're starting him. Adam Thielen, I mean, you're betting on the touchdown. And my issue with Adam Thielen and betting on the touchdown is I feel like it's just less likely now that we have TJ Hawkinson here. Like, TJ Hawkinson can be, I mean, the pseudo wide receiver 2 in Minnesota, especially in the red zone. KJ Osborne, obviously not someone that you're going to start. But I think that's it. I think that's every game that we need to look at from a starting lineup perspective as well as a player prop perspective. We had the ones highlighted that I like. Please, if you have any ones that you like, go down there, drop them in the comment section. And also, please do me a big favor. Drop a like on this live stream. I'll be live streaming tomorrow morning before the games as well, answering questions. And I know 99% of y'all are already on Underdog, so go pull up your app. Go take advantage of the free Saquon Barkley bet. Also, the boosted Dak Prescott one. I've never seen them have 2 special lines in the same week. Usually we're lucky to have 1 in the same month. And when you sign up with promo code FLOCK, they are going to match your first deposit dollar for dollar up to $100. Available in damn near every state. Deposit $10, code FLOCK. Immediately have $20 in your account. Go take the more than half a rushing yard for Saquon Barkley with that 20. But thank you again. I truly do appreciate you. I really do hope you have a great day. And again, this Thanksgiving, I'm thankful for all of y'all. And I am thankful for Underdog Fantasy giving us these special lines. But thank you again. Have a great one. We'll see you with a video later today.